grade. We're still in section 8.1, and we're going to go over example 4. And in our lesson today, we're going to identify the vertex and the minimum or maximum. Can't be both. It's one or the other. Either it's a minimum or it's a maximum. So let's just get started. I'm actually going to switch colors because I drew everything in black, and I wanted it to stand out a little bit better when I drew on these graphs. So you have graphs on your notes, and I'm just going to talk you through it. There's a couple of words that we need to get to know. First word is vertex. That is your highest point on your parabola, or it's your lowest point. It's the highest point if your parabola opens down. It would literally be the very peak. Okay, it's like the very top point, and then before it started coming down again. Okay, so that would be your vertex right there, that top point. Now if it opened down, what if it opened up? Okay, well, it's your bottom point. That's your vertex right there. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. It's the highest or the lowest point on a parabola, and it's the name of a point. So if you're asked what is the vertex, it's the name of that point. That's the highest point if your parabola opens down, or it's the lowest point if your parabola opens up. Okay? So a minimum value, that's your y value of your vertex. If your parabola opens up, then we call that the minimum value. That means that's the lowest y that graph goes. Everything, it's all above it. All the y's are above it. So that's the lowest number the y could possibly be. Okay? That's a minimum value. A maximum value, it's your y value on your vertex if your parabola opens down. The maximum, that's the highest, the maximum number your y can be, because all the other y's are below it. Your graph doesn't go above that number on the y-axis. Okay, so let me show you a couple here on this page. Letter A, you see I've already got this graphed. I'm going to circle the vertex. This is your vertex. So what we need to do is we need to identify the vertex. To identify it, you're going to name the point. What is its address? Where is it located on the x-y coordinate plane? So its address is at positive 1 on the x, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 5 on the y. So that's the name of the vertex. That's the name of the vertex. Because our parabola opens down, this is going to be the maximum. So it's going to have a maximum value. And our maximum value is always the y value of your vertex. So that's why we want to identify the vertex first. It's 1, 5. Then we hone in on the 5 because that's our maximum value. That's the highest y number that there is for this particular parabola. The parabola does not go above 5 on the y-axis. That's our maximum. Okay? Now let's do one that has a minimum, and that'll be letter B. Here's your vertex. So we want to name that vertex. So it's at -1, -2 on the x, and then we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's at -5 on the y. Okay? Because our parabola opens up, that's the lowest y. That's our minimum. That's our minimum. That's the lowest y it can be. All the other y's are above that. You're not going to go below -5. So you're just going to find the y value of your vertex, and that's your minimum. Okay? So on the next page, you'll see that I have letter C, letter D. Please identify the vertex. Okay, so I want you to actually name this point, and then tell me whether it's a maximum or a minimum, and then the value of that maximum or minimum. Okay, so identify the vertex, and then tell me if it's a maximum or minimum and the value of that. All right, so bring your questions to class. Be glad to discuss it with you tomorrow.